How's it going, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video where we just play a few games and talk about the tank. Today we're going to be talking about the Kranvagn, and yeah, it's an interesting tank. It's probably the best heavy tank in the game at the moment, and yes, I do mean that it's better than the Chieftain. Because the thing is, if you are going for raw kind of damage farm, the Kran will farm more damage than a Chief will, if you know how to play it. To put this into perspective, this tank nearly gets the same DPM as a Chieftain does, and it's an autoloader. So with vents and everything maxed out, looking about 3.4, and with this and completely maxed out with the vents as well, about 3.33. Yeah. So this thing is mental, and considering that it is an autoloader, means that you can just whack out 1,300 potential clip damage in, what, 6 seconds? Yeah. It is very, very good. And also, I would much rather have the Kran's turret than the Chieftain's turret, because this thing really doesn't have a weak spot if you point the gun up. And yes, if you have 350 heat, you can sometimes go through underneath the gun and you can pen it basically everywhere with 420 heat. But the exact same thing is basically for the Chieftain. If you have 350 heat, you could go underneath the gun here. You could go, if you have 420 heat, you can go right above the gun or on the cheeks either side of it. So for a pure randoms perspective, I would honestly say the Kran is better than the Chieftain. Not to mention that the Kran is absolutely rapid. Yes, it doesn't get very good terrain resistances, but if you do use vents and you use a turbo, then you can get the top speed up to about 55 on good terrain. You're not going to reach 65 unless you're going downhill. It's just the way it is with the terrain resistances, unfortunately. And yes, before any of you ask who are true kind of stats nerds and have looked at TanksGG for this tank, you can put Grousers in here and it will go at roughly the same speed. However, you don't get the power to weight bonuses of everything else with the turbo, so it doesn't make sense to choose Grousers. Just so we're aware. Equipment wise, obviously you're going to choose V-Stab, but V-Stab is a must on this tank. You could also go through a more brawling setup where you replace the vents for hardening, or you could just replace the turbo for hardening, depending on the map and matchup. So lots of different options are available to you. I would never remove the V-Stab on this tank because it doesn't get very good on the move and traverse dispersion values. The gun traverse is, well, the turret traverse is not actually that bad, but on the move and stuff like that, you're going to be waiting a little bit for it to bloom back down. Now, for my other slot, it is a little bit weird, I know. This is only for Prokhorovka, and I'm not joking when I say this. I will never ever use this unless it's Prokhorovka, because for everything else, I found that this setup is absolutely fine and the best for me. But if I'm in Prokhorovka, I will go to a ridgeline and point my gun up in the air, and they will not be able to pen me, and I have 529 meters view range to spot them. It is not the best of ideas to try this, but it does work sometimes. I mean, in proc, you're going to need view range. Like, there's no point having speed because turbo is only going to help you out so much in Prokhorovka. And I would much rather have optics for that environment rather than a turbo. For crew skills wise, it is going to be the default kind of heavy tank. Or not even heavy tank, to be fair. Like, you just want to choose obviously 6th Sense and get all your view range up with situation awareness and recon, and then Brothers in Arms, obviously. Get intuition. Intuition helps out a lot on this tank because you can quickly switch between the shells. And obviously you want to have repairs if you can. Repairs, as long as you have them being trained up as much as you can, then that's fine, because for the gunner and the commander, there's actually a lot of perks that you need. If we just have a little look, you need, I would take, I mean, maybe you could switch out these two so you have repairs first before snapshot, but that's kind of how I just have them. Repairs on training is always fine because it scales with the percent. So you're fine on that regard. Now, when it comes to the ammo loadout for this tank, I go 50-50. I like APCR. I don't know. You could go all the way down to 12 and 36. I've done that before, and that works quite well, especially in nowadays, because obviously you are a heavy tank, and you're going to need heat rounds. But it's down to you at the end of the day. You could also go full heat if you don't care about AP. Every single choice is viable. I wouldn't take any more than one clip of HE. I really don't think that it's worth it, and if you do, then you can take something like this. This is actually quite nice. But yeah, I either go for something like 1830 or I just go 24-24 and then pick and choose with intuition. Anyway, I think that's quite enough about the tank. Let's go and play some games. Right, so we're on Westfield, which is a brilliant map for this tank, and there is a chieftain on the enemy team as well, which will make things a little bit interesting. Quite a few TDs as well, but once you're at the top of the hill, it shouldn't be too bad. Let's see if we can actually get an early clip off on people that aren't quite fast enough to react to it. It's nice to see that our tanks are actually pushing this way as well. Chieftain fired once. There's the enemy Kran. Yeah. Unlucky. We can just stick our gun up though. I think we are spotting that E4 as well, which is going to be good for us. Let's see. Can we spot the E4 again? Not quite. Mr. Kran. That's fine. One in. Two in. Third one going into the STRV. Unlucky. Stick our gun up in the air so that our cupolas are hidden. Our IS-4 is pushing that way. He doesn't quite have the gun depression, I don't think, though. Ah, Mr. Chief. How you do? This is not that great for us at the moment. I'm going to switch to a heat round. Heat clip, I should say. Wow. Nice clip into that. By the way, you can pen the basically the gun on the Panzer 7 if you didn't know. We do have an E4 and a Gorilla at the back of the map, which I'm not too worried about. So I'm not really too worried about these peeking me. Obviously a Kran peeking me is going to be a problem, but... we're okay so far. This is fine. We still have our E4 and Gorilla that are preventing these from actually pushing up too far. Like, if this guy pushes now, he should receive one. IS-4 pushing round as well, which we will have to deal with in a second. Chief pushing as well. Not the best of situations to be in, to be honest. We're going to take one here, but that's fine. Just get down. Medkit that as well. Yeah, whatever. 3.8k. That's not too bad, but yeah, we tried. Nothing more that we can really do. There's only so many angles that you can block off at the same time. And unfortunately our Gorilla actually went down here, so he couldn't shoot the people that were pushing up this. He should have just stayed in the bushes, because you can stay in these bushes where the E4 is. Hang on. That's not this one, the other one. He can stay in these bushes right at the back of the map here, and he won't get spotted. If he knocks the trees down. If you knock this tree down to the left, I believe, or even in front, It's either left or forwards. You can actually basically just not get spotted there at all. It's completely broken. But yeah, not a bad game. It's fine. It's about what I expected, considering that our team kind of... Well, they took everywhere else, but just... We held them off long enough, so it's fine. So, 3.8k. It's not a bad start. Not bad for the first game of the day, so not bad at all. And, yeah, we're not going to apply it because I have no need to apply it, to be completely honest with you. I've already got all the field mods. Speaking of which, these are all the field mods that I have. We have the all-terrain suspension, because obviously the terrain resistances are awful in this tank. We have the better accuracy, we have the more view range, and we have the focus on power, because reload time is going to help you out usually more than reverse speed will do. And yeah, it's at 18, but yeah, it's fine. There's not many situations where I would prefer to have the top reverse speed, because just getting that DPM up as much as you possibly can is just, it's mental. Like, it shouldn't have over 3k DPM for an autoloader. It just shouldn't. And anything that you can do to boost up even more is just more of a benefit to you. And of course we have the heavy gun, because 1, it's going to increase the hit points of the vehicle, and 2, the aim circle size after firing is going to go down massively by 15%. So that means that you don't have to wait as long when you are actually reloading, and then you can just dish the shells out. Ah, we get Empire's Border. Lovely. Yeah, not too bad of a map actually for this tank, and we spawned that actually this is the okay side, to be fair. Because we're obviously going to go down to here, right? And then we're just going to play along the ridge line and just farm people, hopefully. So that should be okay. I mean, as you can see, it's more than fast enough. But remember that we have 65 top speed, 58, 59. But we are going downhill slightly. 60, 61. Oh, look at that. Rapid. So yeah, once it gets downhill, it reaches its top speed, but yeah, oh well. Should it get buffed? No, no. Please leave the terrain resistances as they are, Wargaming, thank you. 1 into Mr. T10, 2 into Mr. T10, that's a Kran. Oh dear. Come on, just keep shooting me, don't track me here. Thank you. That's scary. Please stop. Why? Okay. Man, why am I being YOLO'd by these? Please stop. He's still going. Wait, what? This guy is not receiving the damage that he should be receiving. He's literally received nothing so far. Like, this guy should nearly be dead. Very lucky. It's fine. There we go. Actually deserved. And now we can just try and fight this Kran as and when we can. He's fired all now, I believe. Wait, has he? I wasn't counting. I know he's fired. He might have 1 left. I don't know. Either way, that's fine. We're at 3.5k. Like, this thing just racks up damage and it doesn't even care. It's so fast at dealing damage. There's also an FV 4005 at the back there, so I don't really want to go that way, to be honest with you. These should all pull back from down here to go there. Let's try that again, shall we, Max? These should all pull back from down here. from up here to go down and support this, leaving us to go up through here. Or at least we might be able to get a free shot on the K91 if he's going to peek it. But the Leo's peeking as well, so the K91 has not been spotted yet. Maybe he's a CVS gamer. Well, we're going to push this. If I die, then I die. I mean, I can't really do too much about that, can I? Going to make sure that we go kind of wide to give us the best chance of survival. And... ah. He wasn't prepared for me there. And he's still not... I don't know. I mean, maybe he wanted to go for the Foch. Like, it's a better chance for him to survive it. I don't know. Like, a bit weird, to be honest. I'm just going to wait for this E75 to die. He should die in a second to the Leo. Maybe not. Okay. Now we can go and push through a little bit more. And we need to be a little bit careful here, though. Obviously, the T-54 lightweight was last spotted around here. It doesn't appear that he's a threat at the moment. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go for the PTA instead. PTA was last spotted around here. He has more health. We may even be able to get shots on this guy actually from here. Okay, yes. Oh man. Of course you go for the Kran, not the people that are right in front of you. Oh well. Well, 4.2k is not too bad. It's about around where I would want to. Around about 4k damage is where I want this tank, so... yeah, 4.2k is good enough for me. Yeah, so far, so good. Not bad. Third and final game? I think so. Well, we're on Airfield. Lovely. There is a 279, which is actually kind of annoying for me to deal with, unless I go and face hug it. But we should be able to deal with it, hopefully. Chief has bond hardening on it. Very nice. So, we are fast enough to get to this position early on, and then we can kind of get a nice little bit of damage right off the bat if for anyone that's crossing here. I mean, just go around me, Chief. Do you reckon he had fun? I reckon he had fun. This tank is so broken that when you just do this, it's impenetrable, especially at this angle. Like, because this isn't even a weak spot under here. I can't think off the top of my head how thickly armored it is. Not to mention that you can reverse side scrape really well in this tank as well. Oh, hi. Shalom 279. Ah, TVP. Welcome. No? Running away. Why are you running? Come on. Fight. It's fine. I'm only a Kran. Okay, so an I-7 is pushing down this side. So I'm going to try and get an angle on him if I can. There is an E4 though at the back there, which is a slight issue. But from here we should be fine. Like, we should be able to deal with anyone that tries to push down this way. Unfortunately, being Airfield is just, you know, you sit here and do nothing for a little bit. Oh, E4? I kind of want to go and farm the 279. He's sitting there in the open. He's very, very juicy there. Come on, fight. I've come round to fight you, 279. Come on. Go hold down again. You were really good last time when you were hold down. Why's he gone over there now? Feels bad, man. 279 doesn't want to fight me. The Chief's done a little bit of gaming and is is now farming the 279. Worthwhile. Maybe I would have got 3 shots in if I'd kept my heat, but doesn't really matter. Not really the play to do. V5, not really the play. I'm going to take one here, but it's fine. Oh, I didn't. Maybe from him I will. Ah, not today, Mr. 279. We have fun. Oh, hi, BR.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
I rolled for 550 and set him on fire. Jesus. Well, that is the game. Yeah, that's the Kran. Completely broken. The problem with the Kran is that it's just too good at doing damage. And it has no weaknesses. It's fast enough to get into position. And when you get there, you go hold down. You just point your turret up in the air. Are you reloaded? Yes. Okay. Farm people. If you're not reloaded, wait. It's so stupid. And it is honestly probably one of the most broken tanks in the game. If not the most broken tank in the game. The fact that I can just go to a position, wait however long I need to wait, do 1.3k, point my gun up in the air, I'm invulnerable, and then do the same thing again. Just rinse and repeat. At least with the Chief, I have a cupola that is always there. With the Kran, you have nothing. Like, you point your gun up in the air, 0 weak spots on the turret. You cannot pen it, unless you have very, very high penetration. Do I suggest getting one? Oh yeah. It's like the best heavy tank in the game at the moment. Of course go and get one. Are they going to nerf it? Who knows? They should. They should nerf it, just like they should nerf the Chief, just like they should nerf the 279, just like they should nerf a load of other tanks. However, they're not going to, because hardly anyone complains about the Kran, to be honest. They complain about the Chief and the 279 because they're reward tanks, and apparently only given to the best players. But anyone can get a Kran. Why do you think ranked is just full of these? Because it's broken. Anyway, hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know what you think about the Kran in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Completely broken tank.